Welcome to FO Talks. With me is Anna Hryniv, a Ukrainian journalist and communications specialist. She's living as a refugee in the US, and she visits the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. off and on. And therefore, we decided it would be great to have a chat with someone who is from Ukraine, knows Ukraine well, is actively engaged with the Ukrainian cause, and will offer a Ukrainian point of view on what's going on. So welcome, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
Anna, we are hearing a lot about Ukraine. We've been reading that the US has been negotiating with Ukraine. In fact, there was a time negotiations were occurring in Saudi Arabia. We heard Russian President Vladimir Putin calling for direct talks with Ukraine. Now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's ready to meet Putin personally in Istanbul. What is going on? What do people in Ukraine think about the negotiations?
Yeah, thank you for this question. Actually, the great question. And before this interview, I spoke with my friend at the front line because I decided that their opinion is the best answer for this question.
Indeed.
Yeah, because they know what is going on. And I asked what they think about negotiation, about Russian opinion, about everything. And I even put it on my paper, what they talked to me about. So they tell me that it doesn't matter what will be after this negotiation. They're pretty sure Russia will come back just in a month or in a year or in a two. So they are prepared for another war because it just doesn't work for Russia, and it just doesn't work for Putin.
I see. So why doesn't it work? What does Russia really want? What's the view of your friend?
Yeah, it's a great question, and we asking this question a lot of years, actually hundreds of years, what Russia wants from Ukraine. But they don't want just Ukraine to change something, to change a policy or to change the president. They want just Ukraine to be the part of the Russia, of the Russian world, and it's never happened. That's why this war is so long, and that's why it's gonna be so long. If we're gonna think that it's so easy to negotiate with Russia. And the other reason, the other thing I want to explain, that my friend told me that it's pretty hard for Ukraine to be part of this war, but nobody wants peace more than Ukraine now. Nobody.
So tell me something, and tell me if what I'm hearing is true. I hear from a number of American friends that when they speak to Ukrainians, they say that Ukraine wants to be part of the Western world. It wants to be part of the EU. It wants to be part of NATO. It wants to be part of the freer economies of the West. And they see the West as historically expanding east. After all, Poland was part of the communist bloc, but Poland now is a very dynamic economy and a very important member of the EU and a very important member of NATO. So the American view is Ukrainians want pretty much what the Poles want. And what the Russians want is to retain Ukraine as part of the Russian world, of their sphere of influence, because they see Ukraine as home to the Kingdom of Rus. They also see Ukraine as part of the former Soviet Union, and they have their fleet in Crimea. Do you think these two views are hitting each other, are colliding? Is that what's at stake?
So yeah, you're absolutely right about the Ukrainians want to be part of the west part of the world. And from what I see, Ukraine is pretty Western country now. It's a heart of world democracy. Ukraine changed. It's a young country, but it changed. It's modern. It's brave. On the one side. On the other side, what Ukrainian fighting for? It's not only about we want to be part of the UN Union or for west part of the US part. It's not about this. It's about you cannot just change borders by force. That's the main idea, because it started with Ukraine, but it could be any other country. And it's really it's really bad future to understand that any other country can change borders of any other country just by force. That's what we are fighting for.
I see. But the truth is that over history, most borders have changed thanks to force. Germany has its current borders because they lost in World War II, Austria the same, and you could say the same about so many countries. I mean, India has its borders today because the British left us with those borders. So I agree with the principle, but reality and history are different, right, Anna?
It's a great point, but we can tell about a lot of things that was like that with the women's rights, with the human rights, with different countries, and we cannot always say it was like that every time. No, we live in a modern and different world when you cannot just change the border if you want. If you cannot just do deportation of 20,000 kids to your country just because you want to do it. You cannot just murder whole city as a Mariupol just because you want to do it because someone did it before. It's not how it works. We have some rules and world order, it's just, and we should respect it.
Yeah, but here's the thing is a lot of people are saying that world order has taken a beating. We are now living in a new order, particularly now you look at what's happening in the Middle East. Look at what's happening in Gaza. Look at what's happening in South Sudan. India and Pakistan just had a major fight, and that was to change borders in some ways, especially in the part of Pakistan. So we are again back to that, to a more violent era. And the classic example perhaps is Syria, where Turkey and Israel, Turkey, which used to have the Ottoman Empire, now is the dominant player in Syria, and Israel has taken some of southern Syria's territory. So yes, you are saying we cannot do that. That's great principle, but we are living in a different world. Does that worry you?
So I have a question for you as a journalist as well. So do you think it's okay to change the border by force now?
I don't think it is all right, but at the same time, what I'm saying is this is the world we live in. So what can we do about it? Does that worry you? It worries me.
It's a great point. Yeah, what we can do about it, we can do impact. We can save our country, help our countries if we understand it's right. This is what do all my friends. Actually, all my friends is from media background. They are journalists, they are camera operators, they are producers, and they are all now at the front line in Ukraine. And this is the answer for your question. What can you do? Because they are right there. This is their home country, and they cannot.
And so they are fighting for what they believe is right. They are fighting for their territory and sovereignty.
They're fighting for their home. It's just right. And the same with the Ukrainian community here in the US. What we can do with with our right principles, not just like all this right principles, but do a lot of protest meetings and rallies and different events, action summits. So just be proactive.
Excellent. Now, that brings me on to my next question. You're obviously very active. You're working very hard for the Ukrainian cause. So what do you and your friends and what do other Ukrainians think about the international support Ukraine is receiving? Do you feel that the US and the EU has your back?
Yeah, thank you for this question. And I'll refer to my friend. I asked him, what do Ukraine need? If somebody asks me, okay, guys, we're helping you, we support you, what do you need? What do you need? And they answer, so what does Ukraine want for this question? So be armed to be able to push Russia back. And
from whom? From the US and EU mainly,
yes,
correct?
Yeah. Just because it's really important, just because if Ukraine lose, it's not just only Ukraine lose, it's a lose for whole democratic world. Just because, as I said before, every country can be Ukraine next. So if we're not helping Ukraine, we can forget about peaceful world that was before the 2022. So about community here in the US. So from one side, I want to say thank you to all people who were really supporting, because I'm as a it's not correct to say refugee, but we'll say refugee because yes, protecting Ukrainians. But I really appreciate all support to Ukrainian people because you can feel the support when you move from Ukraine. Um, as a human, it's my personal side, and from the community. So I had a chance to meet people from different states with different politician sides, and all of them tell me that they have some supporting project that they help with to move Ukrainians from Ukraine. Then they help host Ukrainians here in the US. They send money to Ukrainian army. So in every state with every different ideas, political things, every American person I met tell me I support Ukraine, and it was pretty big surprise for me. So yeah, I think this helps.
So you think the Americans have your back?
Yeah, I think so because we can feel it. It's a bit different from first years of the war, but I think
What's a bit different? Is there now a little bit of donor fatigue? Is there now a little more uncertainty?
I can explain. It's not that chaotic that was before, because when this shocking war started, everyone started to how I can help, where I can send money, who can live in my my apartment. Just now, I feel it's not that huge, but it's more focused. So we still feel this help. Of course, we want more, but I mean, it's any who trying to protect countries and home, we want more, but we appreciate this help.
So, question for you, different question. There was a White House meeting which was very controversial.
Yeah.
And that White House meeting between the Ukrainian president and the American vice president didn't go down very well. Did that affect morale of Ukrainian Americans? Did that affect morale of Americans supporting Ukraine? How did that play out?
Yeah, I can say from my personal view. So at that day, I received like hundreds of messages with support from my Ukrainian friends, from my American friends. So
I see.
I mean, yeah, we have a lot of questions to this meeting, but from what I see, I received a lot of messages that say we support you, we still support you. It's really important for us to help Ukraine. It's not easy to be great diplomatic and be nice when your country under attack every day. It's just not that easy when you see hundreds of people killed by Russia. It doesn't work like that. I understand all this world of diplomacy and rules, but it's not that easy, especially after you spend in Ukraine a week or two. You understand why Ukrainians acting like that or this really quickly.
I see. So let's now talk about the Ukraine Action Summit. You were involved in it. Explain to us what is it, when did it happen, why is it important, what kind of people attend the summit? Is it mostly Ukrainian Americans, or is it also people from other backgrounds?
Yeah, it's a great question. I really love this event. So it was the fourth Ukrainian Action Summit, sixth the Ukrainian Action Summit, and the idea of this summit is to bring all people who want from all the states to go to their representatives and talk about Ukraine. Super easy, but really productive. And from what I see, working with different communication activities, this is the best way to support Ukrainian ideas. So not only do some protest and rally, but go to your representative and tell him about Ukraine. Tell him to support some decision about Ukraine. Tell him to support some, some laws with refugees, some support of armed Ukraine. So representatives is the key to Ukrainian supportive. So we decided to do that project with Coalition for Ukraine, and we bring together 600 of American. Part of them were American with Ukrainian roots, part of them not, just like no connection with Ukraine. They just feel they want to support Ukraine. So it was really, really, really productive and great meeting.
I see. And does this lead to more support on Capitol Hill, more support from the American media, more support from American civil society? Is that what's the long game?
Yes, exactly. This is what was the idea. It's not only about this event. It's not enough to do just one action summit. That's why it's not the first and not the second. We understand we're going to do more, but it really changed minds. It really helps. And I used to work with member of the parliament, so I know how it works. You cannot know, it's impossible to know everything about what's going on in your county, for example. So you listen to the people that live there. So it's the best idea to just be connected with your representative. And if they will hear about Ukraine 100 times per day, maybe they're going to change their mind.
I see. Good old electoral politics, eh? And so let's talk about Ukrainian refugees in the US. You are a refugee yourself of sorts. You are in New York. What has been your experience in New York and in the US so far?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's like my third year in the US. Time fly, but it was hard to leave my home.
Yeah, and by the way, just so that viewers know, you're from Odessa, that extraordinarily beautiful city, Odessa.
Right.
And
Thank you for
if
that.
anyone has seen Battleship Potemkin, an early movie, they can see the steps of Odessa. So,
Right.
Anna Hryniv is from Odessa, and she told me there are 30 media channels.
Yeah, right. It's
and
really
300 social media channels in Odessa itself.
It is only about the city, so
exactly. So quite a culturally rich city.
Oh yeah, right.
On the Black Sea. So carry on. Tell us how do you find life here as compared to such an idyllic place?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Odessa is beautiful. I hope that everyone who will read or see this interview can visit Odessa. I promise I can show the city to all Americans who want to see this city. It's pretty diverse and beautiful. Really, really like it's mix of everything. So yeah, it was pretty hard to leave this city and leave Ukraine, and it wasn't our choice. It wasn't choice of Ukrainian because. We were really happy in our country. I know there are a lot of stereotypes and thoughts about live in Eastern Europe, but from my side, Ukraine, pretty modern, super cool country, Odessa beautiful. So it wasn't our choice to leave, but from another side, I'm really grateful to all American people how easy it was for me to become a part of the New York or the country, because everyone who spoke with me when I only moved, asking me, how can I help you? What I can advise you? Maybe I can help you with this connection. Maybe I can help you with everything. So it was really easy, if I can say that in this story, to become a part of the new country for me.
I see. And I mean, America is the land of immigrants, and there's more than an element of truth. So experience has been very positive. Now let's talk about the activities of other people who've come from Ukraine, your community. What are the activities you've engaged in for the past 3 years, and what are you planning now?
Yeah, thank you for this question. From what I see, Ukrainian community here, especially in New York, it's pretty big and diverse. It's proactive. It's different because there is part of communities that been here for like years and years, and there's
some may have been there 100 years, even more.
Exactly. We have the Ukrainian village. It's a part of Manhattan. It's like East Village. It's really, really a famous place there. So we have this part of community, and we have different new Ukrainians that only move. So it's interesting to see how they connected with each other, because it's two different worlds, but still we have.
Is the older community more religious?
I can tell this maybe, but not super conservative, I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like different. It's still different. Generation is different, but in this, like, this generation grew up here in the U.S. This generation grew up in modern, different Ukraine with different rules, with different everything. So yeah, it was pretty interesting to see how this generation and community connected, just because we have one goal and one idea. And I can say it connected really well. We did like hundreds events, from something with art to something with protests and rallies, and a lot of things. What we do now in DC, just because I see it work better, just because from what I see and what I talked before, it's not enough now just to be seen at the streets or just speak with journalists. You need to push your opinion to officials, and because they can change something in the White House and Congress. So that's why we moved a little bit our activities to DC and focused on that part. This is one part of your question. And the other part, what we are preparing for, it's really important things. And I want to show some statistics, some numbers. So like 669 kids were killed by Russia. And after we...
When?
From February, from starting this war. And
so over 3 years.
Over 3 years. And 20,000 were deported to Russia. 2,000 were injured by Russia. Millions have to leave their countries. So now we're preparing the event. It's going to be the 1st of June. It's called Children Praying for Children. So we're going to do big event in every state, including DC as well, to bring these numbers, to talk about this, and to pray for Ukrainian kids.
I see. So all very good, and good luck with your future activities. I have a difficult question for you now, and it may be difficult personally for you. We have a lot of conflict going around the world. We know about Israel-Gaza. That is attracting a lot of attention, media attention. You move to the south, you have the Houthis in Yemen. You move to Africa, there's South Sudan. Lots of people have been displaced, a lot have died. You move east, you get to Iran. US tensions are high, there are negotiations going on. You move further east, you've had Pakistan and India, two nuclear powers, almost go to war. They've just had a ceasefire, but things are tense. So with all of this going on, and with so many different tragedies, with so many children in so many countries dying, do you think that global attention for the Russia-Ukraine war is going down? And if so, how do you feel about this? What do you plan to do about this? And what are, in your view, the likely consequences?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you for that. You're absolutely right. And as a media person, you're from media, you have huge media background. We understand that this is how it works in psychology. So it's okay to focusing on something else. But
no, I'm also a historian by training, so I'm not
so you understand
typical media person. I'm just saying that there are huge trends, long-term trends, and so sadly, sometimes because of that, human nature gets overwhelmed. So it's a difficult question.
You're right. It's a human nature, and from what I understand, working as a volunteer, helping with all these Ukrainian fields and projects, it's okay to understand that people cannot be focused on Ukraine 100% of their time. It's okay to understand this information and then work with that. Not trying to be rude and say, oh no, you need to read about Ukraine every day. You need to know about Ukraine. You have to know. You have to. It's not how it works. It's war going on in my home. So So it's
it matters to you, of course.
Yeah, it's necessary for me to talk about it. It's necessary for me to do some action with this. So I understand it's going to be like this. It's hurtful. It's hard because Odessa, my own city, under attack every day. And when we say it's under attack with drones, we don't mean small drones. It's like the big machines. So it's my own family had lost of this war. It's just super heartbreaking. But there's another side. I understand this is how it works, and we should know how to deal with this. And that's why we're creating every day something new, some events, some topics, something to do with this. Just because this is the only way we can change it and help, of course, our army to fight back.
Got it. So you recognize that global attention has indeed gone down, but you're trying to stay current, stay relevant, and fight for your cause, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Great. Anna Hryniv, thank you for your time. It's been a real pleasure. We'll have you back. It's great to have a Ukrainian perspective on the war. All the very best with your work, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Join the conversation at Fair Observer and subscribe to our YouTube channel.